all walks of life, whether you're an athlete or you're, just a mom like myself, or a grandmother like myself trying to stay fit today. Lindsay lives in Colorado. She has two darling little girls, Tegan and Tinley, and a wonderful husband that supports her in her Juice Plus journey. And she made national marketing director in 18 months. And so, Lindsay, thank you so much for taking your time to be on our call tonight. And we appreciate all that you have to share with us. And we'll leave a little time at the end, which our time has gone different now, for questions at the end. All righty. We'd love to hear from you.
All right. Well, luckily I do things speedily, so it's all good. We'll roll with it. I was actually multitasking. I was on my team call as yours was starting, and that's just how we roll with this business. But yeah, thank you for that introduction, Kathy. And yeah, I have a 1 and a 2-year-old, 2 little girls at home, and life looked a little different before starting Juice Plus. And kind of what caught my attention with it is that it was just hold on, I'm just going to mute everybody real quick. So if you want to talk, make sure you unmute yourself if you've got questions at the end, but I'm just getting rid of the background noise. But yeah, so when starting Juice Plus, I really did it in effort to help my husband get healthy. I have a firefighter husband, similar to Kathy, and I'm sure she can resonate, where they just don't eat very healthy. And they go to the firehouse, and it's like a bunch of frat brothers getting together, and they put everything in their cart that their wives don't let them have at home, is what I found. So, what claimed to be such a good thing, fruits and vegetables, I figured, well, he doesn't eat any of those anyway, so let's try it. But, being a personal trainer, I really didn't think I was going to see anything happen from this. I really pride myself on being very healthy, and, but I figured if I did it every day, then I could remind my husband to do it. And so we tossed out our Costco fruit snacks, and I replaced them with the Juice Plus chewables on our counter. And I reminded my husband every single day to take them. He had no idea what he was doing, by the way. I just kind of coaxed him into doing it. And 30 days later, to our surprise, we wound up pregnant with our oldest daughter, Tegan. And so what was surprising about that is that we had tried for 4 years. I'd had 3 miscarriages previous to that. And of course, we were ecstatic to be pregnant, but we didn't want to get too excited because we had already lost 3 pregnancies. So of course, I took Juice Plus into my doctor, and I asked if it was okay to take while pregnant. And the response obviously was, can you normally eat bilberry and papaya and pineapple? And she started listing the ingredients. And it wasn't until that moment that I truly understood what Juice Plus was. And then I had asked Tony Olson, one of my uplines, and she had handed me the pregnancy study. And that really impressed me, because what is studied on pregnant women? Like, I can't think of one other thing that was studied. So I started out on the product as a representative, because I'm a coupon kind of girl, and I wanted to get it for free. I certainly didn't have any extra time to run another business. I had a personal training business of over 70 clients. I was department head of a personal training program where I was in charge of 15 other trainers and their businesses. I just didn't have any time to do anything more. And then now with a baby on the way, I certainly wasn't looking to start up another business. But what I found is that you can do this business in stolen moments, right? So actually the other day, now I have a 1 and a 2-year-old, which is ironic because I was actually through almost the first trimester with my second one before I even knew I was pregnant. That's how close together my babies are. Still nursing the first one, figured out we were pregnant with the second one. So I always say God has a sense of humor, and I'm so glad this landed in my lap. But from a business standpoint, what I realized as a personal trainer is that people were asking me nutritional guidelines anyway. People were asking me what kinds of foods to eat, and I never wanted to go against what I had recommended as a personal trainer. But what I had recommended as a personal trainer is just simply Juice Plus, right? Like, I'd recommended lots of fruits and vegetables, good lean proteins, lots of plants, and that doesn't fall outside of the guidelines of Juice Plus at all. And so when I started recommending it, it was initially to get my product for free. And then I realized, with the Shred 10 program, I was kind of the guinea pig for the company selling that. So all I know is the Shred 10. That's how I built my business so quickly. But as you are in an entry level with a Shred 10 order, you get $100 right back immediately. And so when I had gotten my mom and my best friend involved and myself, I ended up getting $409 back as a check. And all I did is recommend it to 2 people. My mom's cholesterol dropped in 30 days, 76 points. And my best friend was able to get off half of her pain meds. And actually, she was so sick, she never even made it to the age of 30. But to know that I was able to contribute, helping her be a little bit happier during that time frame is awesome. But what I found is that it wasn't any different from what I was doing, and I really felt as if I would have been doing a disservice to my customers, if I didn't recommend it. So it kind of became a moral obligation to me, if you will. So what kind of happened is I started incorporating it into everything that I was doing. And I'm going to show you guys, for anybody who is in the fitness industry, and you could even use this with, Kathy and I were talking about, you could use it for a doctor, you could use it for a chiropractor, anybody who's working with the public in an area of which you're kind of analyzing people. So I usually set aside time to do a body fat test analysis and measurements for my clients, and I simply lay it out there as an option. And it's no different than recommending it to the person at Starbucks, that you meet that's just a random stranger. But it gives you an idea of kind of how I was able to build my team so quickly. Just by simply providing a recommendation. None of us want to jump down people's throats with Juice Plus. In fact, when I present it, I usually don't even say the words Juice Plus at all, because people think they know what it is. I thought I knew what it was too, until the doctor put it so simply to me, right? So I'll kind of show you guys how I present that. I'll get my whiteboard here. But you can just incorporate it in everyday life. I made the joke the other day that I had 2 babies in the backseat of my Jeep, and I was going through the car wash, one of those car washes that takes your car through. And I had a Juice Plus order to put in. So I was sitting in the car wash. My car was in neutral, 2 babies in the backseat sleeping, and I was putting in a Juice Plus order. Now, when you reach the sales coordinator level and you put in a Shred 10 order, you earn $200 off of a Shred order. So my joke was that I got paid $200 to go through the car wash. So I don't know what mom would hate that. I also don't know what husband would hate that. So I always make the joke that, the guys are all about the money and the women are usually all about transforming health. So, but this business has both. So that's what's so amazing about it. So let me kind of show you. Let me see if I can get it so you guys can see my whiteboard here. Just going to arrange a little bit. All right, we'll go against this wall. Bear with me a moment. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I might need to grab a, give me 1 minute here. What's on my whiteboard wasn't coming off with, it's supposed to be dry erase marker, so bear with me, I apologize. This is just the night of technical difficulties a little bit, right? So, but what this is kind of presenting to people. All right, I'm just gonna have to use a piece of paper because this isn't working. We're improvising tonight. What this is kind of a presentation, and it'll show you kind of how I've presented this to my clients. So the exciting thing about this is it's totally presenting them an option to increase their results. So anybody who who might be in a exercise program, or we had mentioned chiropractor or doctor, the idea behind it is that when you go to the doctor, you want instant gratification, right? You want those antibiotics or whatever to make your strep throat go away because you want to feel better, right? When you come in and exercise, you want to see results really quickly because you want to look better and you want to feel better and you want your pants to fit, right? So I do a really really simple. This is not rocket science. I draw a tic-tac-toe, okay? Really easy, and then I label it with different categories, okay? And typically when somebody comes in to work out, and I can take a picture of this, and I think Kathy already has this too because I had showed her this. But I do body fat test and measurements, and typically I can get somebody to lose anywhere from 0.5% body fat to 4% body fat in 1 month. So I just write that at the top here, okay? Super simple. And then I kind of put those numbers in the tic-tac-toe, right? So on the first half, I do 0.5%, 1%, and 2%. So just like this. I'll give you guys a second to fill yours in if you're taking notes. Hopefully you can see that. Can you guys see that okay? Okay, good. So super simple. And you guys could fill this in with whatever means. Like you could fill it in with pounds. Like let's say somebody says, I want to lose 20 pounds, and they've been losing 2 pounds a week with their current workout plan, right? You could show them this in numbers like that to double it. So in the middle section, I apply this to exercise because, and you could do that as well because we preach that with the Healthy Living Revolution. But I say, you know, if you work out 1 time per week, you can get the 0.5% body fat. If you work out 1 to 2 times per week, you can get the 1% body fat. And if you work out 2 to 3 times per week, then you can get the 2% body fat. Okay, so the more you work out, the more body fat you're going to lose. Right, and then I just kind of stay a little silent for a second. And the idea is you see that big old number 4 at the top. And someone goes, well, this only takes you to the number 2. Like, I want to know what the 4 is. Does that make sense? Like, it leaves you kind of thinking for a second. And at this point, usually I've talked to them and I've gone through the pitch book with them. You guys know that, where it talks about the toxins of our planet going up and our nutrient density of our food going down. I call that my Juice Plus Bible. Like I take it everywhere with me, everywhere I go. And so I say, but if you're interested in doing the Shred 10, so I'll say Shred 10, but I don't say Juice Plus. Does that make sense? Shred 10 makes people ask, what is that? Juice Plus, people think they already know what it is. And none of us, I mean, before being introduced to Juice Plus, my guess is the majority of you guys didn't know what it was either. But when you introduce the Shred 10 to what you're doing, you get to double your results, okay? So if you're working out 1 time a week and you do the Shred 10, instead of getting 0.5%, typically my clients will get a 1%. So it doubles their result. If they're working out 1 to 2 times per week, then instead of getting 1% without the shred, then they're going to get 2% with. And same thing on the bottom. Instead of getting 2%, they're going to get 4%. Okay? So then I simply ask them a qualifying question of, which one do you want? Which one fits your budget? Which one fits your goals? Which one fits your ideals of where you want to be, right? And the majority of the time, guess what they say? The 4%. So, and then they go, okay, but how much is that going to cost me, right? And one of the best things that I have learned, and I know this is difficult, it's easy for me because I never knew anything besides the Shred 10, so it's been really fun to teach everybody who's been in the business a lot longer kind of the verbiage that I've used, because you know, when you're used to driving a car a certain way, why would you change what you're doing, right? Like when you walk one way, 1 foot in front of the other, why would you start walking on your hands? It's a total change. But kind of the verbiage that I use and why I think the Shred 10 is so successful is because it takes place of what people are eating, right? So when you are eating a meal every single day, you know, the example that I like to use when people go, oh my gosh, well, that's really expensive, I don't know if I can afford that. I say, well, in comparison to what? You know, you realize this takes place of 2 of your meals. So it breaks down to, this is like my verbiage, so feel free to take notes. I say it breaks down to about $6 a day, which isn't bad considering it takes place of 2 of your meals. So about $3 a meal. right? If you were to go out to a restaurant or go try and pick up lunch, could you find anything for $3 a meal? And then I even venture to say that it's cheaper than the dollar menu. If you were to run through McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, and people only do that for convenience, they don't do it for taste or because it feels good inside their belly or because it gives them brain clarity or anything. They do it because that's all the time that they have, right? But how long does it take to put a shake together? And so financially, oftentimes it makes sense for people as well, because instead of running through the drive-through someplace, they can, for equal dollar amount or cheaper, because the majority of people will probably run through, what do I hear all the time? Panera, Tokyo Joe's, Chipotle, those sorts of things. And usually you don't get out of there for under, I don't know, I would say $12 is probably average. Once you get like an iced tea, and of course, like, even at Subway, I don't know, I always want that fresh warm cookie that's sitting there, right? So it really makes sense financially for people too, because it's not in addition to their grocery bill budget or their food budget. It is going to take place of. So when people think like, gosh, I don't know if my friend can afford it because of this, that, or the other thing, that's prejudging, and we need to get out of our head. It's not for us to make the decision if somebody wants this in their life or not. From a moral standpoint, I'm really glad that Deborah introduced this to me, because it changed my life, right? So sometimes you might think, oh, I don't want to introduce it to a fitness professional because I don't know, I'm intimidated, or, I mean, we all get in our own heads, but I am so fortunate that she mentioned it to me, because it was what I was recommending to my clients anyway, but this was the easy button for them. They didn't now have to go to the grocery store and get all of the plant-based protein I was telling them and go get all the fruits and vegetables and cook them up. And of course, we still want them to do that. This is just an easier way of really complying to what I was recommending in the first place. So it's been really nice to complement what I was already doing. And then on top of that, because of making NMD so quickly, as a mom, it's given me the opportunity to be at home with my kids and to raise my kids. I want to raise my kids. I don't want somebody else to raise them. And, as a naive before mom, pre-mom, I was like, oh yeah, I want to work full time and I love training, and training is my passion for sure, but I don't choose training over my children, not any day. And Juice Plus has provided the financial stability for me to be able to stay at home with them and hire help if I need to for my sanity, but not because I have to drop my kids off at daycare. It's because I want to, and I want to go to the grocery store alone, right? So anyway, did I cover everything, Kathy? Who has questions? I'm trying to keep it short for you guys. And I'll unmute you. Kath, hold on. Maybe I'll unmute you. Please hold. Okay, Kathy, you're unmuted.
Yes, that was great. Why don't we unmute it for everybody?
Okay.
If they have questions, I think the whole thing for...
All right, everybody's unmuted, so make sure you mute yourself.
We all know professionals in our life, whether it's a chiropractor, a massage therapist, a personal trainer, a gym. There's so many people that could take this on and present it. And I love Lindsay's kind of nonchalant, very sure of herself attitude that break down, and you get to decide. So I love that, where there isn't any pressure, but there's a lot of options, and they get to make the choice in whatever they choose, whatever program that they choose to do. So, and why don't we open it up to questions?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so impulsive. Send me pictures too.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Good.
There's a bunch of people still muted.
Lindsay, this is Carolyn. So
Hi.
do you have a thing that tests the body fat? Like, are you recommending we get one of those?
I mean, you certainly could. It's not anything. Look, I have it right here on my desk. You can get it on Amazon. You certainly could. It's more of a talking point, I always do body fat testing for my clients simply because the scale doesn't tell us anything. Okay. You can step on the scale now and you can drink a glass of water and step on it again. It'll probably tell you gained a pound, right? But it's water. So who's to say that that weight increase is a bad thing? Oftentimes my clients will start to work out and their pants are fitting better, but their scale is up. And so people get discouraged, right? And so the scale doesn't tell us squat. And so body fat tester tells us a heck of a lot more. You certainly could. I mean, it's not like I walk around and body fat test anybody and everybody, but it's definitely a useful tool. But you could use this same concept is what Kathy is saying or recommending. If people have goals, right? Like if I were to walk up to you, Carolyn, and say, what are your health goals? Like, I really want to help you on your journey. What does that look like for you?
I would like to. I'm on my 7th day of the shred, but I know. But you know, I want to get more fit, more toned.
And do you exercise currently?
Yes.
Perfect. How many days a week?
I only go to the gym twice, and then I walk my dog the other days, and that's where I need to up the level. All
right. Well, give yourself credit. You go to the gym twice, not only twice. You go twice, dang it. That's a lot of people. So, like, if I were talking to you as a prospect, I would, like, commend you first off, because just in you speaking, you talked down to yourself just now. I don't know if you realized that. Okay. So self-talk is a big thing. And I would say, you know, a part of our whole program in our community is positivity, and it's just electric when you get added into the Facebook group and everything else. So, you know, if you're going to the gym 2 days a week, look at my chart, right? If you're going to the gym 2 days a week, right, you can lose 1% body fat usually in 1 month. But if you were to do the shred, you could double that. So you're not seeing the results that you want just yet, Carolyn, by working out 2 days a week?
Actually, I started a new program today, so it's going to be at least 3 this week.
Oh, boom. All right. So you see how I just ask questions. So it's not invasive. Like, the more questions you can ask people, the more ammo you have to meet their needs with our program. Does that make sense? Like, if I don't ask Carolyn what her goals are and I just go, oh my gosh, Juice Plus is the most amazing thing ever. Like, she's like, back off. Like, I don't need it, right? But if you ask questions, you're coming from a place of goodness in your heart, and we're here to help people, you know? So it's not about us. It's not about what people think of us. It's more about how can we serve people? And unless we ask questions, we don't know how we can serve.
I agree. I love the question part.
But yeah, if you want a body fat tester, heck, I sent the link to Kathy, actually. I think, what was it, $30 on Amazon Prime?
35.
$35 if you want one. It's really simple. All you do is you put their numbers in. You hit start. It'll ask for their age, weight, height, gender. And you hit start. And you literally would hold it out in front of you just like this. The thumbs on top, straight out in front of you, and it'll give you a body fat percentage. So it's really simple. The only thing is, don't do it after you work out, because it'll shoot out a weird number because your muscles are all pumped up.
Yeah.
Good advice. Anybody else? Do you see everybody's muted?
They muted themselves
Okay.
after I unmuted everybody else because of the background noise. So yeah, if you want to talk, unmute yourself again. So who's going NMD? Who wants to go NMD on this call? Oh, Deborah does. Sharon? Amanda? Right on.
I bet you Lynn has her hand up too.
Oh, Lynn? We just can't see her. She does. Look at that telepathy going on.
All right, ladies. Well, we won't keep, if y'all don't have any other questions, Lindsay, thank you so very much for being on, taking your time. She is a sideline buddy. She is a shining star, but she is on somebody else's team. So she's taken the time out of her schedule to support us and our goals and dreams. And we love you and we appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a good evening.
You're an
And we will have
inspiration.
this
Thank you.
Thanks.